that would help out you because you're having other people actually ferret out information. Is that what you're hoping? Because otherwise, who does that? You do.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, it may be just as easy to do. Like you said, I mean, everything's going to have to be checked anyway.
Well, that's what I was wondering. How could you actually trust the information gathered by, unless they actually came at the Xeroxes of the sources, so that you knew the sources.
If the update of the comp plan is no more than to review the text, make sure that the text still represents the direction we're headed in, near term and long term, and the action items, then maybe it's just as simple as having the committees recommend, this is what we think is missing, or what is now.
So I think one of the major things that we're going to have to do is take that action item list and you know, done, check. And then, you know, the new policies and actions will kind of develop themselves.
So then the committee job is really maybe, that's going to be the primary focus is.
It will be one of them, yeah, updating data and then also see what we've done. Right.
So then maybe prior to these committee meetings starting, each of us with our element need to sit down and review that section in detail with you, and then actually bulletize what we want to accomplish at every committee meeting.
Right.
And so it's all done ahead of time, so the committee doesn't run off in one direction. And
very important. Yeah, and I already have, I mean, I've got my list in my office of, you know, check, we've done this, we've done this, and, you know, I've been doing that for the last, 5 or 6 years, so.
Did you want to assign elements?
Unless you think it's premature, I mean, if you want me to come back with more information.
I don't think it hurts to take a poll as to what you think each one of us is most interested in.
So we're running over time with that.
You don't have a hot button right out of the gate.
I have so many hot buttons.
Well, you only get one.
There's 8 elements already, we have to look
There
at.
is, yeah. And like I said, I'm not sure we need one for the hazards.
Lisa, what would happen if you found, if you know, the information that came back out of a committee was in a certain direction and other commissioners were not comfortable with that? Then what?
You're playing commission. I could hypothesize lots of things, but
That could happen.
it certainly could happen, yeah. But this is your document, you have to approve this. So, you're in charge.
So I know we're down
And
to
there will be a planning commissioner sitting on each committee, so.
What's that?
And there will be a planning commissioner sitting on each committee. Hopefully we won't let that happen.
Yeah, well, I have it.
And you have lots of free time. You can attend all 47 meetings.
As long as my proxy.
As long as they're not half of the weekend in New York.
Okay, so would it help you if we just pick our top 2?
Sure.
Give it to you now. You're down 2, and then you can put those. We won't hold you to these decisions. We'll just take a quick pause and try to narrow this down and get moving in the right direction.
All right, I can do this.
All right, Barry, you're the most senior member, so you can go for
Pick 2.
it. Pick 2.
Housing. The economic development.
Nancy?
Natural resources and open space.
See, I would have picked that.
How's that? You would have picked what?
I would have gotten that right if I had picked
Okay.
it.
Oh.
You can duplicate. You don't feel you have to just pick one that hasn't been taken.
Well, I also like housing and economic development, of course. So, we have to bid on this, Barry.
Well, you get one, I get the other.
Richard?
Well, chosen natural resources and
Open space.
I'm actually between open spaces and services and facilities equally.
Stop muttering, I can't hear you.
So which one?
Natural resources,
And open
open
spaces.
spaces.
I'm going to put you as a question mark under services.
Yes.
That's the part I couldn't hear.
One of the things that they did talk about, as you can see, it says energy also under services and facilities, is they do want, they would like sustainability somehow addressed under services and facilities.
Is that right?
Yeah, what?
Okay, I didn't see that.
Sustainability and energy issues.
So that I would be interested in.
Yeah.
Are you changing your selection, Richard?
No, I actually, I have a time.
Okay. All right, services and facilities and transportation and circulation. Anything else?
Back with more information, and we'll report at the next meeting.
Anything else you want to accomplish tonight?
Pardon me?
Anything else you want to accomplish tonight?
So nobody chose historical, huh? Oh,
Excuse me.
No, these may all change. You can come back and
Go ahead.
just start looking at all this down.
I had two other questions I wondered if I could ask them that pertain to the questionnaire itself at this time. One was I wanted to know, but in looking through the old questionnaire, I love the first two questions. Are they going to be part of this?
What are the first two questions?
The first two questions are, the 1991 comprehensive plan clearly states that the overriding goal of the citizens are to maintain the island's rural character. That would be one of them. And then, what qualities you feel makes Jamestown a desirable place.
I think those are good questions.
I love those questions. I really want them to be right where they are in the beginning. So if everybody else is in agreement with that.
And before we adjourn, one
Wait,
question.
I have one other question, is that all right? Sorry. This is sort of, I wanted to know why people did what they did. Questions 6 and 9 under economic development. Number 6 was about revisiting the character of the CD, upper versus lower, and was there support in keeping the character separate by zoning controls? And the other question, question 9, was how do people feel about, was there support for increasing the density of the four quarters and possibly trading that off for less density or less commercial, pulling in commercial areas in other places? And my question was whether we're not including them on the comprehensive plan because we don't want to know what people think. And we might take them up, or because we don't plan to take them up. That's my question. Are those two areas that we plan to take up in the future?
These are questions that didn't get enough green dots to put them in the
Right.
survey.
Right, and so I wanted to know
Your
whether,
campaigning.
and so one of the question is what?
Is it your campaigning?
No, actually, I want to know from, actually, what, maybe you're the question, maybe it's to you, maybe it's to other people. Are these going to come up again? If they're going to come up, it feels to me we should be asking about them.
Wait until I get it drafted, what we have.
If they're not going to come up.
We'll vote it on. And then we
Okay,
can
because
talk
those
about
are the
it.
two questions that weren't.
I can't answer that question.
And I would just say, Nancy, item number 3 that was selected, expansion of commercial district, increasing the commercial district, I think relates to your density and character issues a little bit.
Sort of, yeah, not the increasing density,
I would say
which is
that,
literally changing commercial areas to it.
I think the whole thing about the four corners and character of this Narragansett is a pretty focused, narrow discussion. And if you're going to ask me why I went the other way, is because we're looking at a broader